All right, everyone. Welcome to the second day of the Privy Council session of 2023. Of course, I'm presiding. Everybody knows that. That's the rules now. So, yay! We're gonna be using our first adopted procedural bylaws. Woohoo! So we're gonna try to properly work with that today. See what we can go from there. I was told by Her Majesty that she will not be joining us tonight due to jet lag from her trip from Nashville and then Chicago. So, but she's back in the Queen of Nyx, back at the castle. So she is all groovy and fine now. So we're glad that she has landed safely and made it here back. Let's see. What else was there? There was something else. Senator, on my screen, the recording thing literally just started. Did yours start like a while ago? Like, what number is your recording thing on? It's doing that thing again.
It's already started recording for like a minute, but we've been on here like at least 10 minutes. The recording just started though. Just before you started talking.
Okay, well, just in case it's doing that again, welcome to day 2 of the Privy Council session of 2023. Alright, so, because of our new procedure bylaws, I finally, for the first time, made agenda of the day on paper, virtual paper. So I'm going to look into that. Let's everybody look at the agenda of the day. The first topic on the agenda of January 26, 2023. Okay, well, the first one says, talk to this American individual in executive session over an idea that he had. But before this session started, you told me that American individual, which means don't give out his name or who he is, you said that this American individual had an idea. What idea was that, Senator Bree?
Well, that idea was he actually thought of it since the last time we were talking about Nyx. He said, what if people traded aluminum for our currency? If they want our currency, they could trade it for the aluminum that we make them from.
Now, before the meeting when we were talking about it in the executive chat room, you said traded aluminum soda cans for the currency or aluminum ingots for the currency?
Basically anything aluminum. If it melts, like aluminum does.
Ingots would make more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because an aluminum ingot is more valuable than a soda can. So, and of course I recently found out that it's 24 soda cans that makes 1 pound of aluminum, not 32. 32 makes a heavier pack of aluminum. So, because I'm pretty sure that chunk of metal I got is about 5 pounds of aluminum. Mm-hmm. So, which is a decently heavy aluminum. Mm-hmm. With a lot of impurities coming out of it though, which is normal. They're soda cans. Okay. Well, it's not a bad idea. Of course, the reason I was against it at first was because I thought you meant soda cans. Because imagine, like a Nixie pound for every single soda can. My printer is poor. It's cheap. I wouldn't say crappy. It's been helping me out a lot. But it is tiny, so it ain't going to cover all those soda cans for every Nixie pound. Now, don't get me wrong. Our current printer to print out money can print out 4 Nixie pounds at a time. Sure, it's a lot. But, I got, it's my printer that I'm basically helping using it for the Nixie government. And because of that, I still have to use my own personal money to buy the ink and the classified specialty paper for it to make sure it keeps going. I don't have like a giant fax machine printer, which I did take a picture of and I'm going to keep that picture for the time being. So when we get to that point, then we can buy one for ourselves. But we're not there yet. We're not, even me, I'm not prepared to get one yet. So But no, that idea is good. I mean, Her Majesty thought it was a good idea too. Apparently, she had that idea in the first place, just hasn't told anybody about this yet. We're gonna have to get on her about that. It's like, if you got ideas, tell us. No. Oh, what else was there? Yeah. So no, I think it's a good idea. I just thought you meant soda cans because that's way too much for the printer. Now,
Mhm.
aluminum ingots per Nixie pound, that can work because that's what it's equivalent to. 1 Nixie pound, especially an aluminum certificate anyway. An aluminum certificate Nixie pound is worth 1 pound of aluminum. So if we have 1 pound of aluminum, is someone, I don't know, gets a pound of aluminum and gets their, yeah, that is perfectly fine. But now, of course, we still have to do that math because the internet says
Mhm.
that 24 soda cans equals to 1 pound of aluminum. I haven't tried yet. I tried 32, which makes even a heavier aluminum, which makes me realize, okay, that's not 1 pound of aluminum. That's more like 5 to 6 pounds of aluminum. So I'm way off. So it's like, what is 1 pound of aluminum? Is this 24 this time? So until I verify that it's actually 24 soda cans to make 1 pound of aluminum, then I'll consider the idea. But until then, we're not going to do that idea yet. But that is a good idea. I'll hold it to consideration. Keep that in mind. Put it on your notes or something. And bring it back up again if you want to talk about it again. But it's not a bad idea. I just don't think we're. I just don't think we're ready to do any of that yet. So,
Mhm.
all right, but that's not a bad idea. So let's see. What's the second agenda of the day? Since we covered this one, I'm gonna mark it red, meaning we done it. Okay. The second one, talk about what executive order should we put in place to enforce the NICS administrative regulations. All right, so let's go to regulations. I'll send you the first one. Now, some of these have language where you might think it doesn't need an executive order to enforce a law. Like basically how law enforcement works in a sense is like, how do we make our executive order tell our future police officers how to enforce this regulation? And not only that, like, let's see. Well, the one I sent you and everybody is the anti-gerrymandering regulation
Mhm.
that was passed in February 12th of 2022. According to NAR 1.1, it says once political parties exist in the Queen of Nix, they shall not fabricate their own districts within the counties of the Queen of Nix for political gain. Then 1.002, for all elections in local governments, if they decide to have representative districts, they must be content with the very first map they decide on to be the permanent districts for the counties. Once the decision is made and final, they can no longer change their districts unless the popular vote by the district. So, and of course, it's not just police constables or police officers that can enforce this. It's the lawyers too. So I guess you could say um, a federal attorney. We don't have one, but it would be cool to have one in the future. But like, if we had a federal attorney which works for the government and represents the federal government, that can be a law enforcement type deal too, because that'll be us charging them for violating this regulation. Um, so what do you think? Like, how should I make an executive order to enforce NAR1?
Well, I like what you have done so far, but at the moment, my mind just cannot come up with other ideas for it. So, I guess we could just make them up as we go with ideas and compile it together, see what we like to put on there.
Okay. Um. Okay. Well, like I said, we don't have a federal attorney. It would be nice to have someone to be a lawyer. Of course, we might need lawyers in the future anyway, for U.S. purposes, but we need a
Mm-hmm.
lawyer for mixed laws too.
Right.
which of course can be anybody, because to be a Knicks lawyer, all you need to do is read the Knicks laws and make sure they're enforced and followed and abided. That's what a lawyer does.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't have a government one, nor even private ones. So, but wouldn't that be nice though? Because our Constitution also says that if nobody has a lawyer can be appointed to the person. So it would suck if someone at Knicks had a trial right now, because they'll have to represent themselves, because we got no lawyers to represent them. So, well, I guess we'll get back to NAR1, unless you want to try to figure out something for it. I mean, I really want to figure out what kind of executive order. How should we enforce this regulation?
Okay, and there's an idea that popped up in my head. Instead of lawyers, that which we don't have right now, but what we do have is the Queen. You know, like how back in the old days, if somebody committed a crime, they are forced to kneel in front of the Queen in the courtroom to pledge guilty or not guilty.
Depending on the country, yeah.
Yeah. So I was thinking until we actually get a lawyer, we could do something like that to enforce the law.
Well, the thing is, the Queen's jurisdiction is not enforcing the law, it's our jurisdiction. So we can't force the Queen to enforce a law when it's not in her jurisdiction, a power. It's not in her power in the Constitution to do that. It's our power to do that.
Well, then she would be able to appoint from anyone from our jurisdiction to be able to help enforce the law that way. But they will still be in the courtroom to make the judgment, basically. With the Queen and the, how do you call it, representative of the law enforcement to bring that person to justice, basically.
Hmm.
I mean, at the moment, we really do not have a lawyer. That could be our, like, next best thing.
Nor police officers. I mean, our only judicial system right now is the supremacy branch.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have a constitutional amendment, another one, on the list right now for the legislature, to actually establish a judicial branch of government. So we'll have 4 branches of government, like we said we would.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it'll pass or not, but if it does, then that means the Queen will no longer have judicial powers. So it'll be really up to everybody to see if it's too soon or not. But we'll see. But as of right now, the Queen is the only judicial power. So because of the supremacy branch having judicial powers. Okay, so let's read this regulation again. Let's read what it says specifically, and then figure out what can a police officer or a lawyer or even federal or even a executive officer can do to a political party or a local federal county official for violating these two regulation provisions or sections.
You know what that just reminded me of? The House bill that we passed, House Bill 6. That we passed.
What was that one?
Mine, remember?
Oh, where you got appointed as a county commissioner for the island?
Yeah. In a way, if I'm reading this right, that role is kind of similar to this. I mean, kind of, if you're looking at it in a specific way.
Right. I think I have an idea on what this executive order would be.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna get an executive order ready to be written down. I'm gonna have to make a copy of an existing one because I don't have an executive order draft. I should make one. File, make a copy. Yeah, because this will be because I should have made one last year for these regulations and I couldn't because well we were very busy. So let's see, make a copy. Yes. And there's actually 4 regulations now, not 3, because the 4th one just passed on Thursday last week. So I'll have to actually write down the 4th regulation, and well, I have to find a bill that has that 4th regulation. So I'm gonna have to find that one. Let's see. All right. I would like the floor to remain silent until I figure out to find this information. I'll try to find it anyway. Here we go. It's not that one. So it's probably this one. No, it's not. It is not that one. It is this one. Well, this one's also got an amendment to NRS Chapter 7, but this one also, let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's good. It's in the same topic. I was afraid that it wouldn't be considered in the same topic, but yeah. Okay, so yeah, it says Part 2 of this bill, which is House Bill 4 of 2023, it says establish NAR 4. Voters who did not change their voting registrations after August 31st will remain the same as they were before until the next election cycle. So, like, that's literally what that said. That's all it is. Voters who did not change their voting registrations after August 31st will remain the same as they were before until the next election cycle. So the title of this regulation would probably be none other than, oh, I don't know, elections. We'll call it, yeah, I'll title this regulation regarding nationwide elections. Like, no, national and local elections. There we go. Because that's basically what it is. Okay. Get rid of those. Go. And this is regulation number 4. Oh, wait, hold on. This is executive order, so this is different. Okay, so I need to make another regulation. So I need to make a copy of this. Let's see. What was it? It was January 16th, right? Yeah. Okay. Here we go. There we go, and then change that to a 4.001. Got the date, got the main title, and we're good to go. All right, now NAR4 has been officially made. Okay. Alrighty, yay. Let's get rid of this real quick. Okay, okay, so we don't, okay, so no, this executive order was supposed to go to the first regulation, so I'm already way too far ahead. So, let's see, regarding the prohibition, regarding the enforcement of the prohibition of gerrymandering. There we go. Okay, so let's go to NAR1. Read what it says. Once applicable party says. Okay, so not only that, there's statutes for crimes and punishments. So we should look up NRS Chapter 5 to see what the punishments are for violating a regulation, assuming we have one. Let's see. Here we go, violating regulations, section 2 through A2. Let's see, depending on the constitutional amendment that had been violated. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, that's a typo. All right, depending on the regulations that have been violated, it should be declared as one of the following misdemeanor classes. Class A misdemeanor is the highest misdemeanor given to an individual or business convicted of violating enacted regulations, which will resort to a punishment by statute and authorized by the judicial system, as long as the fines do not exceed $20, unless there are multiple counts on the person or business being convicted of such. Businesses shall be mandated under statute to follow guidelines provided by the unicameral and enforced by the Prime Minister for 3 years. All and individuals shall serve 1 year of incarceration in a jail facility where the crime was committed. And a Class D misdemeanor is the lowest misdemeanor class or misdemeanor given to an individual or business convicted of violating enacted regulations, which will result to a punishment by statute and authorized by judicial as long as the fines do not exceed $20, unless there are multiple counts on the person. Business convicted as such. Businesses shall be mandated under statute to follow guidelines provided by the unicameral enforced by the Prime Minister for 1 year, and individuals shall serve only 3 days in jail facility where the crime was committed. All right, so, and it says depending on the regulations that have been violated. So, it's really hard to tell, but technically gerrymandering doesn't necessarily, I mean, it's bad. It's absolutely stupidly bad to have in any country, but technically it does not have a victim for high enough to probably be considered even a high crime violation. And not only that, it's not a physical crime, you know what I'm saying? It's more of a political crime in a sense. So it can have political victims. Therefore, it has the potential to violate constitutional rights. So therefore, I will probably enforce it. I mean, assuming the legislature, says something else about it, right? Unless someone makes a law about it saying, okay, Prime Minister, you're going to do, when you charge that person for this, they got to be charged with this. It's like, okay. Because we haven't necessarily, maybe that's the thing the legislature needs to talk about, is specify and codify what crime will be labeled as a misdemeanor and a felony. So we need to That's probably something the legislature needs to talk about. But at the moment, just to, help the law enforcement deal, I would probably, in my opinion, and since I'm the law enforcement officer, I will probably count it as a Class D misdemeanor for let's see, what was it? Let's see, once political parties is shown up. Okay, yeah. So no, both sections of NAR 1 should definitely be a Class D misdemeanor, absolutely, in accordance to NRS 5, Section 2. Yeah, NRS Chapter 5, Section 2, which is violating regulations. So yes, that we will do. Yes, okay. So where's my executive order? Here it is. Okay, now how to do it. So, what I would put in my executive order, if a political party based in the Queendom of Nix violates Nix Administrative Regulation sections, wait, hold on. Nix Administrative Regulation Chapter 1, Sections 1 and 2 shall be charged. Hold on. Okay. Prosecuted, because it is an organization, because political parties are organizations, so prosecuted would probably be the right word, shall be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law in this following manner. All right, 1. Political parties that has violated NAR 1, NAR Chapter 1. Yeah, I gotta go full scale. I gotta go full scale thing on this. 1, sections 1 and 2 will be given a week notice to appear in court to stand trial for violating NAR 1. Actually, no, that does. Okay, yeah, no, stand on trial, because that's just repeating the first sentence. Okay. If the political party that has been prosecuted and summoned to court does not show up for court, or for trial, really, the nearest or appointed